Time to enter down the rabbit hole insanity that is Mondo TV. As previously requested by Matthew, as I couldn't do Heidi's song, this is Winner and the Golden Child. I still can't believe that an anime of the Jungle Book would eventually have its own small army of sequel series. I guess Mondo TV wanted to have their own extended universe because the show I'm reviewing isn't just a successor to Simba Jr. to the World Cup. It's also a follow-up to yet another Mondo series called The Legend of Sleeping Beauty. Now, from what I saw of it, that show is insane and over the top, akin to Simba the King Lion. Frankly, I might have to give it a full review next year, since it does feature several anthropomorphic animal characters. With that said, can this sequel series to Mondo TV's Jungle Book show be just as crazy and bonkers? Only one way to find out, so about that intro. Well, at least the animation is more fluid than it's ever been. But why is the gang back to playing soccer? That was the one thing that made half of Simba Jr. so dull. And as it begins, it leads into another problem that's very common from the previous shows.
Oh, she's coming. He's coming. Someone's coming. Oh, I can't wait to see. This is a wonderful day. A wonderful day. Oh.
Redundant dialogue, overexcitement, never shutting up. Gotta make as much noise as possible without actually communicating anything, and thus wasting the audience's time. We finally have some storytelling with a scene between King Rakal and his son Ari. We learn that the boy's mother has returned to her homeland for unknown reasons, and that he is currently living in the land of dinosaurs. Yeah, did you know that some dinosaurs actually wore full body armor all those years ago? Now that's something the History Channel won't teach you. We then cut over to some major characters from Simba Jr. to the World Cup, and here is some evidence that the writers can't even keep the continuity right.
Young Master Fox, this is no time to procrastinate. We are needed and have no time for delays.
Oh yeah? A new adventure? The Bronx Bomber is ready as always. Where to? What villains are we facing this time?
The finale to the previous show has Simba telling his daughter, and her much older love interest, to find baby Ari. But apparently these two had some amnesia or something, and are now acting as if that talk never happened. All we do get is MJ Fox complaining about being away from New York. I should also point out how Light is fully grown now, so now the age difference between her and Fox are now downplayed. Still doesn't take away the ickiness in their romance though, since they've canonically been together since she was a cub. Speaking of Light, her powers then give her a vision of the main villain from the Sleeping Beauty series, Maya. Maybe something bad is going to happen, but since this is Mondo TV, she doesn't take that warning seriously just yet. Instead, they dink around like they have all the time in the world.
Welcome back home, Majesty.
Ah? Oh. I thank you, Hans. I've been gone too long out of the forest. It feels good to be home again.
Dan Green, what are you doing here? I kid. I cannot find the names of the voice cast, because I can't imagine any of them would associate themselves with this show after that. Anyway, our animal friends go to the Black Forest in response to a cry for help. While that's happening, Light falls asleep and seems to have another vision of Maya attacking the land of dinosaurs with her dragon army.
Kill them all! Destroy every last one! We will not be defeated!
The most brutal, non-graphic violence imaginable? Leave that to Mondo TV! So I guess this isn't a vision, since Light ends up meeting the royal family. Rakal tells her to take Ari to the jungle and keep him safe from Maya.
It's unbelievable! He is already using his powers to help the escape! Well done, young prince, well done!
Yes, indeed.
And much like Simba the King Lion, plot and character development go by pretty fast. There's not much buildup between the vision of Maya's attack to the actual invasion. All we get are the animals engaging in light dialogue, everyone being happy, Fox being arrogant, then boom, dragons attack. And this is all happening in the first episode. The titular winner dog character isn't even a part of the conflict yet. So in the second episode, Light and the saber-toothed tiger called Cabal proceed to look for the allies mentioned by the king. They are Sir Braveheart, a dog knight who's a regular character in Legend of Sleeping Beauty, and Princess Kendra, who is Ari's mother. These two don't seem like they need the help since Braveheart recently captured two of Maya's henchmen. So violent these animals are. No one can get into contact with King Rakal, so...
Majesty, we must question the prisoners now.
Hush your mouth, Slowpoke.
Because he's slow! Get it?
I think we should stop. Though I'm not tired, I feel I have to rest. It's as if an invisible power is preventing me from continuing.
Around here we just call it plot convenience. Anyway, time for animal torture.
No, I know nothing!
You don't want to talk either? Where is Maya? Tell us, immediately, or I'll shake it out of you.
I don't know anything. I'm only an employee. I take care of cleaning.
Nonsense! Tell me where Maya is, or I will destroy you.
Are we the baddies?
Light uses her powers again after a bit of rest. Is it just me, or would this count as an inception? She makes an astral projection of herself in front of Braveheart and Kendra and tells them that Ari is safe and sound. This message gives them hope, but enough about that. It's time for Ari to meet his co-star of the series.
Who are you?
I'm Winner.
I'm Winner. Nice to meet you. You're so cute. Come here. Hey! Come back here.
My name is Cordal, and my duty is to protect Ari, the fifth prophecy child. Forces of evil are searching for him. If they are able to neutralize the prince, the reign of terror shall be unstoppable. Our worlds depend on the safety of young Ari.
And how much are you willing to bet that Winner isn't going to do anything important in the show that's supposedly about him? The third episode has Maya trying to find Ari in the most childish way possible.
Bats, go and search for my helpers! I command you! I will not rest until they are returned to me!
Good thing our old friend Arbor has tree sentries nearby to tell our heroes about what she's up to. Simba and Bimbo prepare themselves to hold off her army of wolves, because her dragon army was out of commission, I guess. This leaves Winner to take care of Ari, supposedly.
Oh, Simba, I hate sad goodbyes.
Together we have survived incredible adventures, and during all that time, I never thanked you. Thank you, Winner. You are a true friend.
Why am I crying?
And now you will be the same for Ari. Until we meet again, know that you are in my thoughts.
We're all gonna die! Maya then warps her minions to her so she can...
Now those stupid animals will search for us again, and we're going to let them. And when they do find us, we'll escape with a child.
Oh good! It won't have that Mondo TV feel without unnecessary animal party scenes. Oh, and I guess Ari is now blonde Tarzan. The animals hope to teach him, and Fox, how to survive out in the jungle. Now, most of these episodes fall back to the story format established by Simba the King Lion. Besides the occasional lesson for the Golden Child, everyone is having random adventures without any thought of Maya and the threat she poses. Take episode 4 as an example. We have Fox going into this temple and getting himself trapped while attempting to get his paws on this delicious bone on a golden plate.
What's happening? Did you hurt yourself?
Oh no, it's nothing like that. Young Ari just needs a breather. We're gonna take 10.
What the The hell? When did Light revert back to a child? Oh, never mind. I guess she has the same devil fruit power as Jewelry Bonnie. And is it just me, or is Ari voiced by Veronica Taylor?
Don't be melodramatic. I knew you were in here all along.
Get me out of here, kid, and you get a lifetime pass to play with my tail, huh? Please, can you just help me, kid?
And my friends too, whenever we want.
Anyway, the animals rescue Fox, and the rest of the episode is mostly just everyone teaching Ari the ways of the jungle. But looking back, I don't think their help is necessary, cause if you thought Simba and his junior have overpowered abilities, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Ari?
Nothing important happens over the next handful of episodes, but we are starting to see Ari show off more of his magic. The animals try to teach him again, though their collective wisdom comes off as awkward. The story is trying to balance between humor and drama, but I don't think they got the mixture right. But to give this series credit, I will at least commend the way it handles Ari's character development. For all his powers and talents, he's still a boy growing up without his parents, and that absence mentality catches up to him. So he has moments of loneliness that generate more sympathy than what Mondo TV is usually capable of. Like this scene where he uses his magic to try and communicate with his mother from a distance.
Mom, I miss you so much. I love my new friends, but I'm still lonely without you. Mommy, please don't go away. Please, please.
Okay, not the best delivery of some heavier themes, but the heart of the story is in the right place. Fox also goes through his share of changes. Right now, he's always reminiscing about going back to New York, and he actually gets his wish in one episode. He runs into that one dog from Tenocolino, then a human who's kind of a prick. Some fighting breaks out, and Fox eventually realizes that his memories of his life in the big city are rosier than the actual reality. This eventually leaves him with a more balanced perspective of his previous life, and he ends up bringing back some hot dogs for his new friends back in the jungle. But now it's time for one of the biggest surprises the show can ever bring. Shere Khan is alive again!
What sad sacks you are. Aren't you glad to see me?
There's only so many ways I can say, what the fuck, people?
Shere Khan was first killed by Mowgli in the Jungle Book anime. Even had his pelt taken afterwards, for crying out loud. He's then back for Simba the King Lion, only to be horrifically strangled to death, turned to stone, and buried under a mountain. Now he's alive again? How did this happen? Why did this happen? Unless Maya pulled a Tales of Destiny 2 and revived her own Barbados to hunt down Ari, this Son in Return makes no goddamn sense.
I hope you didn't think I abandoned my plan to rule this land. I never surrender. I never ever give up what's mine.
You died a sniveling coward. Don't pretend like we don't know. Anyway, Shere Khan is forcing animals into fighting for him, and threatening to kill their children if they don't cooperate, and our heroes aren't especially understanding towards their situation.
It'll take forever for the tigers to make an army out of the hyenas and the monkeys.
They'll skirmish for seasons before we see them as soldiers.
Blow me. In the meantime, Ari relocates to a flower field for safety reasons, thus separating himself from Winter, and is accompanied by Light instead of Winter, like the title of this series implies, and there he learns how to form a chorus. We're about halfway through the series and we still don't know what Maya's up to. Then we get a history lesson about when life started from some large old crocodile who sounds like David Brimmer, who also voiced Crocodile. So many 4Kids actors in this, and some of them were in One Piece. Back to the plot, Fox infiltrates Shere Khan's ranks by disguising himself as a hyena. In turn, one of the hyenas that we constantly see and is constantly changing their name disguises himself as Fox. This is while Ari is still trying to reconnect with his mother. He doesn't fully succeed, but he does get to see some bits of his forgotten past. It's like they don't know which story to follow. Do they want to tell a tale straight out of Simba the King Lion? Or do they want the fantasy prophecy stuff like in Sleeping Beauty? They really should just pick one or converge the two of them together, because in episode 17, we're back to playing soccer. How did we go from a war against an evil witch to a war against a revived tiger overlord forcing animals into military service to freaking soccer? And guess what? Shere Khan is interested in going along with this, because he can't get his troops to cooperate.
It's only distracting
Well,
them.
you're right and you're not. Think about it, Winner. Don't you see what's happening? They're learning to work together as a team. Could be a big problem if they apply sports lessons to warfare.
Again, fair enough, but keep listening.
Aw, man, what are we gonna do?
We'll play them instead of fighting. Yeah.
What do you mean? We're gonna play more soccer?
That's right, we're going back to Animal Soccer League.
Oh shit, here we go again.
I can't even begin to... Now we're watching both sides train for soccer, which is what Winner spends most of the time doing, while spying on each other. So what happened to Simba and Simba Jr.? What happened to all the children of the main cast? What happened to the all-out fantasy war? What the hell is going on? Okay, all is not lost just yet. Some rock creature manages to spy on Ari and Light, forcing the Golden Child to use his powers to time travel or something. He ends up underground where there are rocks with faces.
Something is amiss within the cavern, can you not tell? Apologies, sire, but I sense nothing. I am not paranoid, understand?
I guess they're guarding something, but Super Kami God Rock Guru kinda wants to leave with everyone. Ari then comes out to tell Light about what he saw and... What the hell is that? Seriously, that's how they draw them coming out of the ground? Anyway, they catch Wayne Grayson Rock and learn what they're guarding.
You don't understand. The box has to stay secret, or terrible events might unfold.
What kind of events are you talking about?
I really don't think I can begin to explain it. All I can say is this is what we do.
Well, that plan failed. I guess it's back to soccer. We see Augustine and some cranes, with one sounding like Ted Lewis, bring over their soccer uniforms. Then we see Baloo, who had earlier gone into the desert for reasons that I don't care about, and he ends up learning that Shere Khan is working for Maya. Now I'm convinced that she revived him. They copied Tales of Destiny 2's villain plan and dumbed it down for a soccer game. The idea isn't foolproof, since it looks like Shere Khan isn't following her wholeheartedly. Could this lead to some friction between the two later on? Nah, let's just focus on our main villain turning herself into a vulture so she can pretend to be her minion's wife.
Wife? Can't you be my mother or something?
Oh, you have an objection to the cover story? I'm nobody's mother! Make no mistake, I'm the brain and the boss of this operation!
Just 4 more episodes of this. Just 4 more. Anyway, Ari finally discovers what the rock people are hiding. It's a box full of trinkets that he saw fall into the water when he was time traveling that awaken his powers even further or something. It's at this point where our hero also recognizes the sacrifices that his friends are making to keep him safe, so he resolves to help them in return. But first, the Golden Child really needs those trinkets to face Maya, so he goes to the rock people for it, and...
I have something here you'll want.
Are you still here? What is it, you meddlesome boy? What could you possibly have that would be of interest to me? I have enough on my mind.
Now, I have an incredible package. I want you to scratch it.
For you and your people, as a gesture of goodwill.
Behold!
Okay, not sure how this will help you beat Maya though. But before we look into that, as we enter the last 3 episodes, let's talk a bit about Winner. For a character who is featured in the show's title, he doesn't really do anything and he doesn't change at all. Sure, he talks a lot with some of the other characters, but he doesn't interact with Ari in any way. If anything, the show should just be called Light and the Golden Child, since they spend half the series hiding together. Jeez, this is like Simba Jr. to the World Cup all over again. A named character in the title turns out to be irrelevant. And why can't Light be featured in the title, given that she's more important in not 1 but 2 shows? What the hell, Mondo TV? My expectations are already low as it is. Okay, ran over. Let's just get this thing over with. Ari gets the rock people to help him in an upcoming soccer game against the bad guys. They seem capable of phasing through wood, because shut the hell up. The bad guys then appear with their own uniforms for the occasion. I'll just chalk it up as Maya giving them the gear, because there are only so many brain cells I can spare right now. The big match will be inside of this soccer stadium that the animals built, and the rock guys immediately start to cheat. Our heroes, ladies and gentlemen. But they aren't alone, as Ari then asks Arbor to bring along the old soccer team to take part in this game as well. Naturally, they have to pad out this little reunion, and we finally see Simba Jr. and gang. They have not aged at all.
Dad, I missed you so much. It's so good to see you again.
So, how old is Light at this point? We saw her as a cub in the other series, then a lioness in this show, but then we see her back as a cub? Are the other animals immortal, given they haven't aged even as Ari grew up before our very eyes?
Space is warped and time is bendable.
With this reunion, we are down to the final episode. Let's see how much plot the writers can jam into 20-something minutes, shall we? Both sides do some last-minute setup before transitioning to the stadium, with the game already started. Is it too much to ask for a grand entrance to reflect the gravity of the situation? Turns out we have to sit through 3 different matches, and Shere Khan's faction takes the first one. I get that soccer tournaments can have multiple legs, but can't we just have one long game instead? Anyway, in the third match, Ari uses his magic to outsmart Maya, and even though these two barely interacted previously, he knows who she is, so... I really wanted to like this final battle, but what we got instead is so dumb, it hurts me.
Eat this! Take that!
And that's it for her. She's tossed aside and our heroes win the second leg and the tournament. Game, league, whatever. I don't think the score is right, but who cares? Shere Khan surrenders and he promises to live peacefully with the other animals after banishing Maya.
So, Winner, your thoughts?
I think that the 2 of you should hightail it out of here.
You'd think he'd follow that up somehow. He doesn't. And what happens to all the animals still under the tiger's control? Nothing at all. They're probably still forced into servitude for the rest of their miserable lives. But anyway, we need to get Ari home now. Okay, fine. He finds himself in a different castle, and both his parents come to greet him. Turns out the castle is around the same area as that flower field he hid in. And with that, and with his parents finally at his side, Ari and the animals have one last party together.
You certainly have some of that jungle spirit in you. Well, you know what they say, Light. You can take the boy out of the jungle, but you can't take the jungle out of the boy.
Well, if that wasn't the most bizarre series Mondo TV has done, well, I can't confirm until I see Sleeping Beauty. It's definitely an improvement over Simba Jr., but it still has many of the same problems that other Mondo TV shows have had in the past. Bad writing, awkward dialogue, and inconsistent plot. It does have more fluid animation this time, at least, but you still get some errors and repeated animation constantly. Probably the biggest issue I have is the letdown of not having all the crazy dinosaur, beastman, barbarian, dragon war thing from the start. Here is hoping that the Legend of Sleeping Beauty has that sort of story, if I ever get around to it. Otherwise, Winter and the Golden Child isn't something I can recommend, unless you're into so bad it's good content. If you can't tolerate this kind of over-the-top insanity, then you'll be in for a miserable grind. But if you can, you'll at least be intrigued by what goes on inside the minds of the people behind this. I'm the Media Hunter. Media's my prey, and reviewing them my way.